Over the last 3 seasons, Nikola Jokic has become one of, if not the best center in the NBA, and is becoming a consensus top 10 player in the league. With 3 All-Star appearances, 3 All-NBA teams, and now 3 straight years with a playoff series win, the Joker is inserting himself into the upper echelon of NBA players. But what if I told you he's already been there? Jokic's breakout year came in 2017, his second year. He only averaged 16, 10, and 5, but his advanced metrics were off the charts. This was only 4 years ago, but people were still very skeptical of how these advanced metrics actually played onto the court. But for people who knew what they meant, these were early signs of how good Jokic could become. His PER that year is still the second best of his career at 26.3, his box plus minus was 7.3, his win shares were 9.7, and his VORP was at 4.8. As a second year player, those numbers are incredible. For example, Zion Williamson, who was an all-star in his second year and probably the face of the league in a couple seasons, had a VORP of 3.8, box plus minus of 5.4, PER of 27.1, and a win share of 8.7. Jokic was at an all-star level that fast. Fast forward to 2019, and Jokic is coming off of his first all-star appearance and his first playoff appearance. But he comes into this season ridiculously out of shape. Then you come into the bubble in 2020 in August, and he was able to showcase his new body. And spoiler alert, it helped a lot. Against the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert, Jokic averaged 26.3 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 5.4 assists a game, while shooting 51% from the field and 48% from 3 on 6.6 attempts a game in a 3-1 series comeback. Then, versus the Clippers, he upped his game even more and averaged 24.4 points, 13.4 rebounds, and 6.6 assists a game, while shooting 51% from the field and 40% from 3 in yet another 3-1 comeback. Now, looking at his stats in the regular season and the one playoff series he has played since September 1st, 2020, there is a legitimate argument to be made that Nikola Jokic has been the best player in basketball. The entire regular season, Jokic has remained healthy, while other stars like Joel Embiid, Giannis, LeBron, Anthony Davis, James Harden, and Kevin Durant have all been hurt and missed extended periods of time. Jokic played all 72 games, and while that is a reason for him being great, it isn't nearly the main one. The main one is because Jokic is simply that good. Since September 1st, including playoffs, Jokic is averaging 26.4 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 7.7 assists a game while shooting 55.7% from the field and 39% from 3. He is the only player in the entire NBA to be putting up at least 25, 10, and 7. We all know that Jokic ups his play in the playoffs too. In the 6-game series versus Portland, Jokic put up 33 points, 10.5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists on 53% from the field and 43% from 3. He did all of that without his second best player in Jamal Murray, his starting shooting guard Will Barton, and his backup shooting guard PJ Dozier. His guard rotation consisted of Facundo Campazzo, a 30-year-old rookie, Austin Rivers, who they signed off the street a month ago, Marcus Howard, an undrafted rookie who at best is probably 5'9", Shaq Harrison, a two-way contract player Denver also signed a month ago, and Monte Morris, the only one who played with Jokic before this season. With the players in the league today, is there any other player in the league who could win a playoff series with that backcourt rotation? In the Western Conference, nonetheless? I don't think so. I don't think people really understand the impact Nikola Jokic has on the game of basketball because the NBA does a terrible job of marketing him. Denver doesn't get any national TV games, the social media platforms don't post him, and no one talks about him on the national talk shows. Everyone just kind of knows that he's a very, very good player, but he's even better than what you realize. This is a play that showcases Jokic's brilliance. He tells Monte Morris to get across the timeline, and then look what he does. He directs Aaron Gordon into the corner, then he tells JaMychal Green to rotate into the dunker spot, and then he tells Austin Rivers to take his spot into the corner. He then sets the screen for Monte Morris, and it opens up a look at the rim, and a foul is called. Jokic didn't even touch the ball that entire possession, but his fingerprints were all over it. This is another example of how good Jokic is. At the moment in time this video clip is frozen, all 5 Clippers on the court are looking directly at Jokic. But he knows that. He looks at Murray, and it opens up in wide open lane for Aaron Gordon to cut to the rim. Jokic delivers a pass, and it's a wide open dunk. This might be one of my favorite Jokic plays of all time. Murray has to take a tough shot. Jokic knows he doesn't have enough time to grab it, so he has to tap it in over 3 Laker players. Jokic truly is a generational player. He's the best passing big man of all time, and he's arguably the most offensively skilled big man ever. I know people are going to be putting this over their heads, and people will call me dumb for saying it, but Nikola Jokic, the 41st pick in the draft, the doughy, chubby, white European guy who can't jump over a phone book, is the best player in the NBA. And he has been for a while. No other player in the league can do what he's done. Obviously, a prime LeBron James or a prime Michael Jordan can do it, but as of right now, it really doesn't come close. Next time a Nuggets game comes on TV, please watch. I guarantee you are going to see greatness.